All right, so with uploading our drawings onto our photographs on the curriculum website, you can go ahead and scroll down to the instructions that I have listed below and click on what we will be using, which is Photopea. I've got it linked right here. So we will go to photopea.com. Now you need to make sure you have a photograph of your drawing. You should already have the original photograph submitted into Google Classroom, and therefore you just need to let me share my screen. So you already have the original photograph on your computer saved, so that should be easy to find and upload. But what you'll need to do now is photograph your drawing, and make sure you photograph it like directly from above and it's not at an awkward angle. Because if that is the case, then we will not be able to successfully layer the drawing on top. So what we will do is File, Open. Find your original picture first, understand where it's at. Mine is going to be the Statue of Liberty. So we'll go ahead and double click that and open that. So this is my original reference picture, and then once again we developed a drawing on top of something that maybe involved a surrealistic idea. Once again, no spaceships physically come out of the earth like this, and the waterfall turns into a crack in the earth or whatnot. So you were to create a surrealistic drawing on top. So I've photographed my drawing, I've uploaded it to my computer, and now I can open a second document. So we will go to Open, File, Open. You will scroll down and find the drawing that you have completed. Once again, photographed successfully. Edges are cropped away. Easiest way to do that, I would say, is on your phone. But if you need to make those adjustments on Photopea, you can do that as well. I'm just using the crop tool, which is right here. And if there's a specific part of the drawing to get rid of the background, then you can do that. But I've already done that, so we can move forward. All right, so now I have two separate tabs, one of which is the original photograph, and the other is the drawing itself. So I'm on my move or cursor tool, okay? I'm going to click on the picture, and now I can move it around, and what you'll do is move it and drag it on top of the other tab. Now that pops up the picture here, and then I can let go. You'll want to make sure Transform Controls is selected, okay, and that gives us the ability to resize it, okay. If you grab a corner, or if you just kind of grab the side, you can distort it, and we don't necessarily want that because your drawing should be true to what was observed. So you will want to hold Shift while clicking a corner, and then that'll keep it proportionate as opposed to all wonky. But if you just hold Shift, that'll realign it to be proportional. Okay, so my drawing was the entire sketchbook size paper, so 9 by 12. But now I have the ability to resize it and readjust to make sure that it is the appropriate size for my original picture. So if I'm trying to layer this, this will be way too big. So I need to readjust, once again, holding Shift, because my image should be ideally lined up perfectly in size with my original photograph. So I need to probably make it a little bit smaller, and I'm dragging it to a point where it is the appropriate size for the original picture. Okay, that looks pretty lined up, I'd say. And I can click outside or unclick Transform Controls, and there we have it. Okay, so you could be done if your picture makes sense to be done now. That works, but you can also kind of flare out the edges or something like that, which I'll show you here soon, if you want to do that to make it like it blends into the picture. Okay, that is an option as well. But you can see how my arms have lined up, the spikes on the crown, my clouds even are in line with kind of where they fade off into the original picture. I've got some darker variants of the cloud for the darker cloud up here, down here, lighter renditions, whatnot. So everything lines up successfully. So if you are done now, you could go File, export as either PNG or JPEG. Those are files that are compatible with Google Sites, and you can go ahead and save that to your computer, Google Drive, whatever the case may be, and upload it to your website. If you wanted to get a little fancy and look like it fades and blends into the picture, you can use the eraser tool. Now the eraser tool right out the gate is just going to be a hard edge, 100% is being erased. So what you'll want to do is switch it up to maybe like a soft edge right here originally. So if it's got a full circle, that's a hard edge. Once again, hard edge would just create a very angular kind of erase line. So what we're going to do is look at this like kind of softer, fuzzier one. So now just kind of looking at that, you can kind of see the difference, how it progressively blends into the original. So you can switch up the opacity as well, so it's not as aggressive. So we'll just go maybe 60% right now, see how that looks. And then you can change the size of your brush. You can do that two different ways. You can change the size by clicking up here on the top left, making it smaller, or an easier shortcut is just to click the brackets on your keyboard, which is right above the Enter button. Above Enter and to the right of the P. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bigger, and then I have the ability to kind of click a couple times and like fade out my hard edges if that's a look you want to go for, to make it look like it more blends into the picture itself. Maybe do a lot of erasing over here to make it almost look like the stick comes out of the clouds. Okay, and continue on with that. Okay, I have a completed one example here. So once again, you could submit it like this, or you could submit it kind of blended out like that. Okay, so all said and done, once that is complete, you will go to, once again, File, Export as, JPEG or PNG are perfectly fine, whichever one, doesn't matter. Quality 100%, you'll click Save. Then you'll have that saved on your computer or onto Google Drive, wherever you saved it. And then you'll have the ability to go into your website and upload the pictures like so. Now, I do want you to still submit progressional pictures, which don't need to be layered on top of the original. Just the final picture needs to be layered on top for both of your images. So just a sketch, kind of progressional pictures, halfway point, this, that, whatever the case may be. But all said and done, the last finalized photograph should be layered nicely right on top of your photograph of reference. Okay, once again, all these examples here, this guy was holding the paper physically in front of it because he was in the environment. It's not necessary, he wasn't drawing from a photograph, he was drawing from life. So all these pictures are what he was physically looking at while he was sitting or standing there. And that's to why he's got his hand in front of the photograph. But we are not doing that. We are going to just upload with lovely technology that we have today for that aspect with Photopea. All right, so that is a rundown on how to overlap your pictures. Once again, just real quick, I'll run through this. File, open, find your picture. File, open, find your drawing. Move tool, grab your picture, drop it on top of the tab of your photograph. Transform controls, grab a corner, hold shift, resize to the appropriate size for your image, move it around and place it where it belongs. You can blur out the edges if you want to or not. If you do, you'll use the eraser tool like previously mentioned. If not, you'll immediately go to File, Export as, PNG, JPEG, Save. Simple as that. All right, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of that along the way. Once again, you're still working on your 2 drawings, but if you are at a point where you can do at least one of these now and then work on your drawing next class or something like that, that's fine. But at some point in time, when you get ready to submit this picture, these 2 drawings, they will both be edited like I just mentioned.